Most people think rice is one of the safest things they can throw into a shopping cart. White bag, familiar logo, decent price, and into the cart it goes. But here's the strange part. Two bags sitting right next to each other can look almost identical, yet one might be packed with unnecessary additives, have inconsistent quality, or simply cost far more than it's actually worth. That's why today's countdown exists. We're breaking down 7 types of rice products that often disappoint shoppers and then revealing 3 pantry staples that deserve a permanent spot in your kitchen instead. Some became popular because of clever marketing, while others earned trust years ago but don't always deliver the same value today. Stick around because the number 1 spot catches millions of shoppers every single week, and most people don't even realize they're making the mistake. Let's start with number 7. Instant rice products promise one thing above all else: speed. After a busy day, the idea of having perfectly cooked rice in just 5 minutes sounds almost too good to pass up. And that's because it usually is. Before instant rice reaches your kitchen, it's already been partially cooked and dried. That extra processing changes the texture, making it much easier to overcook and much harder to achieve the fluffy, separate grains people actually want. What shoppers expect is restaurant-quality rice without the weight. What they often get is rice that's soft, bland, and forgettable. The interesting part is that companies aren't really selling better rice. They're selling convenience. Our brains naturally value anything that saves time, even if the quality quietly slips in the process. If you're only saving 15 minutes while sacrificing the texture of every meal, is it really a smart trade? Speaking of paying extra for convenience, number 6 takes that idea even further. Flavored rice mixes fill grocery shelves with tempting names like garlic butter, creamy herb, or Spanish style. The colorful packaging makes them look like something special, and many people assume they're getting a chef-inspired recipe inside the box. But once you turn the package over, the illusion starts to fade. Long ingredient lists filled with sodium, preservatives, artificial flavors, and ingredients you probably already have sitting in your spice rack become impossible to ignore. In reality, most of those flavors can be recreated at home using plain rice, garlic powder, onion powder, herbs, and a few simple seasonings for a fraction of the price. You're often paying several times more for spices wrapped in attractive packaging. That's consumer psychology at work. Companies know convenience feels valuable, so they package ordinary ingredients in a way that makes them seem premium. If the ingredient list on your rice is longer than your grocery receipt, it might be time to rethink the purchase. But convenience isn't the only thing quietly increasing your grocery bill. Number 5 belongs to ready-to-heat microwave rice pouches. These have exploded in popularity because they're incredibly easy. Tear the pouch, microwave for 90 seconds, and dinner is ready. For college students, office workers, and busy parents, that sounds like the perfect solution. The downside is hidden in the price tag. Per serving, microwave rice often costs several times more than regular dry rice. Most of that extra money isn't paying for better grains. It's paying for packaging, processing, and marketing. Some varieties also include added oils or extra sodium to improve shelf life and flavor. It's almost funny when you think about it because cooking traditional rice often takes less time than scrolling through streaming apps trying to decide what to watch during dinner. These pouches solve a timing problem, not a quality problem, and if they're becoming your everyday choice instead of an occasional backup, your grocery budget could be shrinking without you even noticing. Now the countdown shifts away from convenience and into something much more important: transparency. Number 4 is rice with unclear country of origin labeling. Some brands proudly tell you exactly where their rice was grown. Others barely mention it at all. That matters because rice naturally absorbs minerals from the soil, including arsenic, and different regions have different farming practices and environmental conditions. This doesn't automatically make any bag unsafe, but knowing where your food comes from gives you the information needed to make smarter decisions. When brands avoid clearly identifying the source of their rice, it leaves consumers guessing. Good products usually don't hide their origins. Mystery might make a great movie plot, but it has no place in your pantry. That brings us to number 3, and this is where many shoppers get caught by one simple word: cheap. Budget store brand rice isn't automatically bad. In fact, some retailers source excellent products from the very same mills used by premium brands. The problem isn't always quality. It's consistency. One bag cooks beautifully with fluffy, separate grains, while the next turns sticky or uneven without changing a single step in your recipe. That's frustrating because rice is supposed to be one of the easiest foods to cook. People continue buying these products because low prices create optimism. We naturally assume rice is just rice until dinner proves otherwise. Saving a few cents doesn't feel like much of a victory if every meal becomes a guessing game. And now we're entering the top 2, where marketing becomes even more powerful than price. Premium rice brands often use elegant packaging, gold accents, and words like artisan, reserve, or chef selection to convince shoppers they're buying something extraordinary. Sometimes those claims are completely justified. High-quality Basmati and Jasmine rice can absolutely be worth paying more for. But there are also products that rely more on image than actual improvement. This is known as the halo effect. When something looks expensive, our brains automatically assume it must taste better. Yet blind taste tests regularly show that many shoppers struggle to tell the difference between some premium products and far less expensive alternatives. Paying more only makes sense when you're paying for better rice, not better packaging. And now we've reached number 1. Highly polished generic white rice remains one of the most common pantry staples in the world, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. Heavy polishing removes the bran and germ, leaving mostly starch behind. While enriched varieties add certain vitamins back during processing, they can't restore the original texture, fiber, or deeper flavor. People often expect incredible rice dishes while starting with one of the plainest foundations possible. It's like expecting a blockbuster movie after cutting half the script. The rice itself isn't necessarily unhealthy. The real issue is expectation. Great meals usually begin with great ingredients, and the grain matters more than many people realize. Fortunately, avoiding these products doesn't mean spending more money. Sometimes the smartest grocery choices are surprisingly simple. Better pantry staple number 3 is brown rice. Because it keeps the bran layer intact, it offers more fiber, a richer nutty taste, and a satisfying texture that keeps many people feeling full longer. Better pantry staple number 2 is high-quality Jasmine or Basmati rice from reputable producers that clearly label where their rice is grown. The aroma alone transforms ordinary meals into something that feels special without requiring any complicated cooking techniques. And finally, the number 1 pantry staple isn't rice at all. It's quinoa. Although technically a seed rather than a grain, quinoa cooks quickly, contains complete protein, and brings a naturally nutty flavor that works beautifully in salads, grain bowls, soups, and side dishes. It's one of the easiest ways to add variety and nutrition without making meal preparation any harder. The biggest lesson from today's countdown isn't that one package is automatically good and another is automatically bad. It's that smart shopping starts with reading labels instead of trusting marketing. A few extra seconds in the grocery aisle can improve every meal while stretching your grocery budget further than you might expect. Now it's your turn. What's the best rice you've ever bought, and which one left you disappointed? Share your experience in the comments because your recommendation might help someone else avoid an expensive mistake. And if you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to subscribe. We've got plenty more grocery myths, pantry secrets, and shopping mistakes to uncover in future videos. Until next time, shop smarter, cook better, and never let flashy packaging make your decisions for you.